Alrighty, ready. Hello, everyone. Got good news, got bad news. So far, the good news is this is our final lesson with WordiGirl, lesson number 10. That's also bad news because we're going to miss doing this. This has been awesome. I tell you what, if she wants to continue having lessons, we, meaning me, will be glad to continue giving her lessons. We definitely will continue to give her lessons. But right now, it's, this is supposed to be the last one, at least the last one in our experiment that Thinker Teacher ruined for us anyway. But our experiment of doing 10 lessons with a novice to see how far we can get. Now, I'm open. I'm not probably. I am open to doing another experiment, and Tuesday is coming. Tuesdays are going to be free, and we could do another experiment. But we could say something like, "What's your rating?" So like 0. What's your rating on Lichess? And you don't have to tell me because I can look it up. So let me go look you up. And your rating right now in Rapid is 1555 in Lichess. All right. I'm not going to bother with chess.com for the moment. So 1555. So we could see how many rating points you would gain after 10 lessons. Right? We could do it. Now, I was doing novice to beginner because that's working with somebody that doesn't even know how all the pieces move. So it would be a different experiment, really, to see how far we can get somebody from 1555. Where could we end up getting you to be? But that would be an experiment that we could try. We could say, okay, let's see how many rating points change that would happen if you had 10 lessons, right? Just to see, because people ask this kind of thing all the time. They always say, well, I want to get better. How do I get better? What do I do? And a lot of us tell people one of the ways to get better is to have a coach or a teacher, someone to help you along the way. It's always faster, right? I mean, it's faster. If you do it all on your own, you don't know the pitfalls, you don't know where, you don't have any experience. If you have someone with the experience of learning and growing and raising their rating and playing in tournaments and all that, you can benefit greatly from their experience. And so one of the things that we preach is that you should get a coach or a teacher. So I think it'd be another interesting experiment, but I think the lessons, we'd have to come up with how those lessons would be structured. Right now, I do lessons individually, and we do an assessment, find out where you are, right, along my timeline of improvement. We figure out where you are, and then we go from there to say, oh, okay, what do you need, right? And I work with each person trying to find how to give them exactly what they need, what each person needs. So that's not right formulaic, which is fine. But we might say, do the assessment, find out what you need, pick 3 principles that come next, teach you those 3 principles, and then see if it improves. All right, 0. You might be the guinea pig. I'm going to be looking for one. Now, so that's all good news. The bad news is I haven't seen WordiGirl today. She usually streams before mine. She raids me. She does her practice puzzles. She's not online. She's not streaming. I don't see her at all. And she's not answering my Discord. So there she is. Okay, so we're back to good news. I thought we were going to have to skip a week. We're not skipping a week. She is here. Let me go to my... she is ready, and I didn't look because I didn't see you answer on Discord, so I figured, she must not be here, but you are here, so we will get started. Awesome. This is great. This is much better than what I was afraid that we wouldn't be able to work with you to finish up your lessons.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, very softly. I don't know if I need to raise your volume. I'm thinking you need to raise your volume.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, just a little bit. Keep going.
Is that better now?
Oh, there you go. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with steam. I don't know why cooking with steam is better than cooking without steam, but
Think you mean cooking with grease?
No, I've never heard of that. I've always heard
Oh.
cooking with steam, but I'll take cooking with. Hey, Sudakus, mi amigo, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, Sudakus is playing me a classical game, and he's kicking my butt. I thought I was beating him, but now I'm not so sure. He's doing very well. Best I've seen him play yet. And this is why, WordiGirl, I tell everybody, if you want to get better at speed, because everybody wants to play speed chess, because you get online, they all want to play 5-minute and 3-minute, they all want to play fast. And I keep telling people, you can't play fast until you know how to play slow. And if you can play slow and find all, and we're playing correspondence. And in correspondence, you could sit there and you could try out lines, you can move the pieces, you can even move the pieces here on this board. It has a thing that allows you to test lines, basically. And I won't tell you if you're winning or losing. You can't turn on the computer. But you could play out like 6, 7, 8 moves. You don't have to remember them in your head. You can actually try them out. And then if you like where it goes, you move. If you could do this with correspondence, then the idea will be that you need to learn how to visualize that in your mind, WordiGirl, so you're not making the moves on the board, but you're doing them in your mind. And then when you get good enough that you're moving them in your mind and you feel good, you have to be able to do it faster and faster. But it's an ability that you have to cultivate. So the first ability is accurately analyzing the position, finding good moves. And so we're happy to let you do that with being able to move the pieces around in correspondence. Then you have to be able to do it in your head because you're not allowed to move the pieces around in an actual game. And then you need to be able to do it fast enough that you're not losing on time. Because that clock, as you saw when you played, the clock is a factor. Time is always a factor. All right, WordiGirl. We're going to get right into your lesson. This is your last lesson. I was talking about earlier at the beginning of the stream that I don't know what I'm going to do with my Tuesdays now. This has been 10 Tuesdays in a row. I first of all, I said it on stream. I'll say it to you. I am happy to continue giving you lessons until you're sick of them. I enjoy you. You're a great student. We just won't do it every Tuesday, but we can do lessons going out into the future if you want. But I'm excited to see you play. Now, our last lesson is going to be on time management. All right? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you play the computer again. And let's start you off with 15 plus 5. And every 10 seconds, if you have not moved yet, I'm going to tell you, time to move, time to move, time to move. And you're going to have to pick the best move you could find and move. And what this is going to do is get you used to a rhythm of 10 seconds per move. If you're at a point, 10 seconds come up and I say, time to move, and you go thinking, all you're going to have to do is say thinking. And that'll tell me that, yeah, but it isn't that I can't just choose between 1 or 2 or 3 moves. This seems very important. I want to spend more time on this position. So then I'll give you another 10 seconds. Okay, so you can always say thinking, but that actually will only happen like 4 times in a game, right? 4 times in a game, you're going to have to spend extra time to make sure you're not making a mistake. Now, we're going to do it at 10 seconds. In reality, if you're playing a serious game of like 30 minutes per side, we might give you 30 seconds per move. Some of those moves you'll make in 5 or 10 seconds, but you'll have up to 30 seconds before you have to move. So if we do a 10 or 15 plus 5, then you only have 30-second increments, right? You'd be out of time if we did 30-second increments. But chances are, I don't know. Let's go look at your games. I don't know if the games you've played against the computer already have been more than 30 moves.
Okay.
So if they're not more than 30 moves, then we can go with 30. Oops, I didn't want to just message you. I want to go look at your games. So we know you've played games.
So I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay, I've scared her away. Go ahead. All right, guys, her last game was 27 moves. Let's check the game before that. Oh, that's a correspondence casual she did with Ink Pen. This one is 32 moves. I'm thinking we could give her 30 seconds per move. I'd rather give her more time than less. All right, yeah, 30 seconds per. Okay, we're going to do 30 seconds per move. And we're going to have her, after 30 seconds, I'll be telling her to move. She'll have to move regardless. Hey, Sudakus, thank you again for being my mod. Hopefully you'll be doing some modding for me tonight because I'm going to be very focused on WordiGirl. As you know, I get that way when I'm trying to help her out. Let me see now. There was. Okay, okay, I forgot how I did mod love for you last time. No, it's not that. What is it? How did I do that last time? Gosh, I want to give you some more mod love, but I can't remember how I did it. So yes, Sudakus, I was talking to Zero about our future, and so one of the things I might do is another experiment. Hey, yes, look at you! Oh, I gotta get a hat.
Yeah, I wanted to do this special thing for the end stream. The final lesson was to be Marvel like you, because I don't have too many Marvel costumes, but I was Miss Marvel for Captain Marvel, not Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
I was Captain Marvel for Harvest last year, so I said, I'll just save this for the end. Oh, you have a cool Joker.
Well, I figured if you're gonna wear a superhero shirt, I gotta go with you and do something, right? So I gotta wear a hat. Oh my gosh, that is awesome! I like Captain Marvel. That is great. Thank you so much. You bring it. I can't stop smiling. All right. While you were gone, I checked, and your games, easily you could do 30 seconds per move.
Okay, cool.
Your games aren't spending more than 30 moves, on average by far, and so 30 seconds per move. And if you did 30 moves, 5 seconds extra per move, you're gonna have another 150 seconds anyway. All right. So we're gonna do. I want you to do a game 30 seconds per move. Not 30 seconds per move. 15 and plus 5.
5.
15, 5. I'm going to tell you, I actually have a timer. And every time 30 seconds goes, if you haven't moved, you're going to have to move. If you move, I'll reset the timer and you get 30 seconds again. And why are we doing that? So you don't get in time trouble. I want you to have a rhythm for about how fast you want to move in a 10 plus 5 or 15 plus 5 game. All right. Okay. And then we will go over the game and discuss it. Now, you played your last game. I don't remember if we got to go over it. Did we?
I think we went over that one, but you wanted me to play one more, and I said I could try, but it was like already 10:30. And then I said I was going to try to do it on my stream, but I did not get to stream today at all.
I know. I was worried that you weren't going to join me.
Yeah. Yeah, but finally I'm here, so.
And it looks like somebody did analysis on your game. I didn't. Somebody ran a computer analysis.
They did?
Yeah. If it's not you, I don't know who did, but somebody ran a computer analysis on your game. And that was fine, but we're going to play a new game. And we will go over that game versus going over this game, because that's old news, right? You already did that game. So let's do a new game. I can't Twitch put out something where you can do the icon for Mod Love. Mod Love, I think it is. I found it. I found you got to do a colon. For some reason, you got to do a colon. You got to do a colon and then do it. So I just wanted to give some mod love to my man Sudakus, who is my mod, and he does such a great job. And I just like to share some love with him. All right, so guys, again, if you feel like I'm not good at speed, I'm not good at playing fast, hey Megger, if you want to get better at playing fast, then the key here is for you to play slow. I know it sounds weird, but if you want to play fast and play well, play slow first, get good at playing slow, and then incrementally speed up. Because if you can't see the stuff playing slow, you see less when you play fast. Right? I get myopic. I only see a small portion of the board. The rest of it gets like in a blinder. I can't see the rest of the board when I get low on time. You might not have that. You might just have where you don't see combinations or attacks or tactics. So we see less when we have less time because of the pressure. So you need to make sure you can see it at a slow speed first to then start getting used to the pressure and seeing it at a fast speed. All right, so WordiGirl, we're on our 10th lesson. This is how most lessons start for beginners, where you play a game, we review the game, I ask you questions, we clarify things like en passant is not if you don't move your pawn 2 squares, and not if the pawn doesn't end up next to the other pawn. So it's only when your opponent's pawn is on their 5th rank, your 4th rank. But little things like that we clarify by going over the game and asking you things like, well, why'd you do this and why'd you do that? What were you thinking? All right. So, WordiGirl, please go ahead and challenge that stockfish to a game. And we do want you to play a human being soon. So, I mean, if you want to play a human being, if you want to take if you feel really daring, let's go and if you forgot how to do it, you go to play, create a game.
Oh, I'm already in there. Mm-hmm. I'm just, the computer has started first.
Oh, you're already playing a game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hear you. I didn't know you were playing the computer already. I was going to see. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
I'll start your timer.
All right.
I'm starting and stopping your timer every time that it's your turn. Ooh, look at you.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Doing great. Remember, you have a lot of time, 30 seconds per move, so you have a lot of time.
Oh no, wait. The time is getting to me already. Okay.
Already? You just started. All we did was sacrifice a bishop. We're giving the computer a chance. You sacked a bishop. That's what we call a sack or a gambit. You just gambited away your bishop. No worries. Just keep playing. And we're going to hope that your opponent gives you back free candy too. Time to move.
Okay.
What? Did you move your king up?
Wait. Okay, so the problem here is I changed again the way that the pieces look, and I just realized that was the king. I was trying to move the queen.
Go ahead and resign this game, only because we don't want you to be playing the bong. That's called a bong cloud. We don't want to be doing a bong cloud. Go ahead and resign that and...
All right, let me change my board again. Sorry.
Yeah, please pick something that's normal.
The problem is that the problem with the theme changing, the pieces look cool, but then as a beginner, since I'm sure that you can just automatically know what the pieces are just because of where they are.
Where they're supposed to be, yeah. But
yes.
I take it you got confused between the queen and the king.
I did.
Yeah, and you gave away a free bishop because you probably thought it was a pawn. All right.
No, probably.
If
but
you
also
go to play, create game.
Okay.
What I want you to do is, and if you look at my screen, you'll see it.
Just create a game for anybody to play.
And we want you to play 0 for the plus side where it says plus. Mine says plus 300. Drag that bar down to plus 0. Drag that bar down to plus 0. And then on the minus side, drag it as far left as you can.
Yep. It already says minus 500 and 0.
Okay, good. And you can make it rated because it'll be your first rated game. And we're gonna just play a stranger. Now you could play you could use the king with the half black and half white in the middle. and that means you have random color. You don't know if you'll be black or if you'll be white in the game until the game pops up.
And that will increase my chances of getting a match because
Yep.
the other person can have whatever color.
Well, they don't get to pick either. It's
Oh.
random for them too, so it's not going to help you. Now, I cannot.
I already
All right,
got.
you're up. I cannot speak because it's a rated game. You're on your
Okay.
own. You can talk. We'll listen, but no backseat driving, guys. It's a rated game.
Okay. See, now the queen is over here, but that's because, see, I was used to being white. When I'm white, then the queen is over here. That's the weird thing. But okay. Bishop, maybe this. Okay. Okay. I'm going to tell the knight. Okay, bishop. Now in this case, I'm going to want. I mean, the other bishop is blocked, so I'll just do this. They have castled. Okay. Going to move bishop. Well, the king's out of the way, but I can still put the bishop here. Okay. I want to retract the bishop. I can really just put him right here because the pawn is going to protect me. He really doesn't want my bishop right there. Just going to have to attract this bishop everywhere. Okay. I don't know what that did. We can move queen out of here. I wonder, should I castle king side or queen side? I see there's already a lot going on queen side. So I might want to go the other way. Wait, what did he take? Oh, my knight. Never mind. I didn't pay attention.
You can hit the back arrow on your score on the left. It'll show you what was there.
Okay.
That's not. I'm not helping you. I'm explaining the tool to you, so that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right. I'm just gonna take that because too late. I knew there was a lot going on queen side, but I was just not paying attention. Okay, now my queen is under attack. Drat. Yeah, I don't think I did good this time. I have to move the queen back because unless I protect the queen, we have to think of what can we take. We have to think of how can we block. So right now I can't take anything without repercussions that I can see. I just feel like the best thing in this, because I do not want to lose a queen to a pawn, I'm just going to retract, unfortunately. Okay. Now the knight is putting me under attack. Trapped. Not a good game. I cannot take. I cannot block. I have to only. I mean, if I move the queen over here. They have more time on the clock than me, too. Thinking. Okay. Wait, what was that? That was a pawn? No. I tried to press the back, and then it says that that's a take back. I'm not trying to take.
No, above it, you'll see all the moves. And at the very top,
Oh.
you see all the moves. You'll see I think it's at the top. Somewhere you should have a play forward and a play backward button.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't want to take back.
Yeah, I retracted that. Yeah, I'm very messed up right now. I'm just gonna keep dancing around with the queen if I don't do something else. How can I get out of here?
Which, if you have the same position 3 times, it's a draw, remember? And that's probably okay. But again, I
considering
can't
how
do
things are.
Yeah.
I get the queen out over here. What else can he take? He can take. Oh. Okay, I got this right. Better castle. Okay. Mm. No. Okay. Hmm. Ah! Running out of time! Okay. Oh. Well, I know I'm going to lose anyway. She's coming to pin. Trapped. There's nothing I can do about this. Unless there's really nothing I can do about it. That I can see. You guys probably know how to win. I put us in a horrible predicament, and I really don't see a way out. I'm out.
That's okay. No worries. Let's go look at your game. Your first real game. And it wasn't against a weak player. You know, he's 1487. That's a lot stronger than you are right now. You are a 1500 question mark, which means you've never played a rated game. So that was your very first rated game. That, I thought you did pretty well for your first rated game ever.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Okay, well, thanks.
I'm not joking. I think that was pretty good for your first rated game ever. Where is the chapter? Okay, what happened to the game?
I didn't leave yet.
No, it should be in here. Ink pen, WordiGirl. Where'd it go? I've lost the game. For some reason, it didn't come over to the study. Weirdness. Okay, let me.
Is it because I timed out?
No. It's just me. I didn't click study like I was supposed to. All right, so join me in WordiGirl's games. Remember, in studies you contribute to. And okay. Let's give you a shout out, by the way. Haven't given you a shout out yet. Hey, Gridiron. Yes.
The superhero who just lost.
Yes, but game. She is a superhero. All right, ready, WordiGirl? We're gonna go over this game quickly, and we're gonna let you play another one.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, good start. Center pawn. Happy. Good start. Knight. Now, I talked about that a lot of times. This pawn, but as long as the bishop, I'm happy. You did great. This is great. Developing both your pieces, no complaints. Developing another piece, no complaints. Freeing your bishop, beautiful. Now, you do want to move your bishop. Remember, you have 3 choices right now. You did good. You didn't want to do this. You don't want to block that bishop. You want that bishop to be able to come back. So, of these 3 squares, which one do you think has the most potential for the future?
B5?
So B5, I believe that's where you went. You're attacking a square, but
nobody's on the square.
And if he pushes this pawn, and as you saw, he didn't even have to push that pawn. He could push this pawn because there's nothing to attack. And now you either have to back up this way or this way.
So would the best one have been? I mean, I was looking at D3, but I was like, that might still be like a block. But that does give, like it's like, you know, when they're all crunched up. Like
yeah. But remember, we like our pieces near the center. Okay. We like our pieces near the center.
Okay.
So yeah, I think D3 would have been better, and you could have even done E2. E2 would have said, I don't have to worry about you attacking me later. Can't get to my bishop, but D3, paying attention to what's going on, you could have played D3. So I think bishop, either one of those would have been better.
Okay.
When he pushed on your bishop, you can do what you did with an idea to get back here to attack this pawn, but as you can see, you're going to start getting cramped. So again, you could have just said, okay, never mind, I was fooling, no worries, and you could have gone back to one of these 2 squares. All right, so in general, I think both of those would have been better for you. And now here, what's the threat?
I didn't pay attention. At first,
Right.
I was like, why did it even do that? That doesn't look like it's going to do anything, but I didn't realize my knight was right there.
Very good. So pawns only attack one square away. So when a pawn moves, you need to check to make sure it's not attacking something. And those will be easy for you. You're not going to miss that in the future. I mean, you're going to look at it and go, wait, you're attacking me. So you could have went here. Can't take 2 against 2, you'd lose a piece. Can't go here, the pawn and the knight both attack. Can't go here, the pawn will attack. So you have here, with maybe later coming here, so you're not off on the side for long. But if you went here, even if he pushes his pawn, he can't push it anymore at your bishop. So you have time. You can give your bishop a home, you can give a bishop a home. But then you later will also get to go to this square, and it'll be protected by a pawn. So that's one option. You also could have went this way, because then you could go here. You're protecting here. You can push this pawn, right? Especially if he says, I'm going to come and get your bishop. And you could go here if you want to. I'm sorry. You could go here now, but you could also push here or here to give your bishop a square to go to. Okay? So this would have been better. But, okay, we developed our last piece. So I was glad that you remembered that. Of course, you know, don't give up a knight for a pawn. I know you know. But since you did, and you took with the pawn, and then he attacked your queen, and this is tricky, because you have to think 2 moves ahead. You have to think, if I go here, he's going to go here, attacking my queen. I'm just guessing he's going to attack your queen, which I would have been right. And then I'm going to lose this pawn. So I'm going to lose that pawn if I go here, because this move chases my queen. I can't protect the pawn. So you could have said, I'm going all the way back. He could have still attacked your pawn. And you could have even let him win your pawn. But now you see you could castle. And if he takes, then you can move here, right? And then you don't have to worry about him attacking you again. You could have moved here, but that wouldn't be attacking anything, so nobody wants to do that. Here, at least you're attacking the knight. The knight would move, and you'd go, okay, I can live with that. In fact, I can even now trade that off, and later on I'm going to try to get rid of your knight. I feel like I can still play. I'm down a whole piece, but I have a chance. So instead, we only moved 1 square, not realizing the knight's going to attack us right away. So we have to realize that. Okay. And you could have just kept going back and forth, because if it happened 3 times, you'd have a draw. And, oh yeah, thanks, Sudakus. I turned it up because we weren't allowed to talk. Thank you, Sudakus. That's why you're a great mod. Yes, Gridiron, thank you. No, it's you. I had it turned up because we couldn't talk to WordiGirl because she was playing a rated game. So I was giving you guys background music. It's loud. Sorry. So anyway, I mean, this is good because you're trying to get out of this chasing your queen around. So I have no problems with that. You saw that I was protected, so you did not take it. That was good. You could have went here, by the way. And here you would have kept a knight out. Now, he could have brought the bishop back from here, and you would have had then to move back. But, yeah, you know, you could do this to try to keep the knight in bay or whatever. But this is fine. Now he pushes. Here's a point where there's a tricky move that I think you should have done. Do you think you could find it? He's attacking your pawn. How many times is it protected?
Once. I mean, twice, because the other pawn.
Very good. How many times is he attacking it?
Twice, because of the bishop over there.
Yeah, those long-range attacks we miss a lot, right? That's just life. We miss long-range attacks. You missed a long-range attack later, I'll show you. So you have 2 protecting, he has 2 attacking. So you could let him take, because then you'll take. If he takes, you take back. You end up okay. So since you can let him take, I want this bishop not to be trapped, right? I don't want him pushing that pawn and keeping my bishop out of the game. So guess where I could have went? He could have taken, and now he'll have 3 attacking your pawn. But whichever one he takes with, you can pin that pawn to his queen. So it's pretty complicated stuff. And you can castle, right? But after this, you should be able to castle. But yeah, if he does this kind of thing, you can immediately go after him. Or you can say, well, I'm going to take with the pawn. He takes with the bishop. I'm going to take with the knight. He takes with the queen. And now my bishop and my bishop. I got a lot of things hanging. So I don't like that. And this rook is hanging. Life is not good. Okay, but anyway. So maybe that's not such a good tricky move. But anyway, here we castle. I was so happy you castled. That was so good. Now, the last thing I want you to do is, I want you to push this pawn because I don't want him getting that pawn there. The knight would be able to sit there with the pawn protecting it. I want to stop that pawn from pushing. So I was really hoping you'd push that pawn early. But you didn't. You did this, which is also very, very, very good. You put the rook on an open file. You're fully developed. These two aren't the greatest development, but you're fully developed. All of your pieces are out on the board. It's time for you to get your rooks involved. Open files. Superb play. Now you can't push this pawn, though, because then you'd have a discovered attack on your rook. But that's okay. You didn't. Then you took the 7th file. I was so proud. I was like, oh, I'm so proud of my student. That was so good. So what do you do next? You did really good. He retreats. What do? You have a rook on the 7th. What do rooks need to be? What does this rook need to be?
That rook needs to be on an open file too.
So probably. Where do you want to put it?
We would probably want to back up our rook on B.
This would have been
the B
awesome.
File? Yeah.
This would have been what we call a stack attack. You have 1 X-ray, 2. Did you notice this long-range bishop? 3 pieces already attacking that square.
I actually did notice the bishop. The problem with that was I knew that if the bishop took, then the rook would take, and then if my rook takes, then the queen would take.
And
so I didn't want to get rid of. I mean, well, if the rook was there, unfortunately, I didn't notice that I should have put the rook.
Right. So you saw if I take, he takes, I take, he takes. So if you could get one more piece there, then you could take the queen. And you can.
I really was trying to think of what could I put there, but
yeah, the rook.
Yeah, I didn't think of the rook, but the queen was stuck. I saw the queen couldn't come out either on 3 or 4 because I mean she could have, yeah, but 3 or 4 the pawns were protected.
You couldn't go here or here, but you could have went here also to stack. But rooks are better because nobody wants to leave their queen for a rook. So you'd rather have them have to take with the, you want the rooks. So
yeah,
you
I don't think I moved that rook at all in the game, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you had it. This was such a good move. And if you just put this other rook there, you would have been so good. That would have been spectacular. All right, you didn't do it. And he could have just traded off. He could have chased you with a pawn. He did none of the above. He comes over and checks your rook. Okay. Guess what? Stack attack. Still stack attack. I'm going to get this into your head because you were so close. So close. All right. So you found the spot over here. Now, I thought he should have just attacked you with the bishop. And I'd be, where do you go? Right? If you go here, the knight could take you. If you go here, the queen will take you. If you go here, the queen takes you. If you go here, the rook takes you. You're in trouble if he puts the bishop there. But he's a 1400. He's not 1700. So he didn't put it there. And then you found the brilliant move. I really like that. Taking the pawn, attacking the rook. You just won a pawn. That was so pretty. Now again, this wasn't safe. You should have stacked them up. But we all make mistakes. He made a mistake. You took advantage of it. All right. Puzzle time. He just attacked your rook, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you win material? You're down, remember, you're down a knight that you gave away early. So you can win the exchange right now. Because your knight is attacking his rook, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but then I knew the queen would take, and then the rook couldn't go diagonally to take.
Right, but if the queen were to take, that's bad news for him. You could just move the rook. No, he's going to do what he did. If you take here, he's going to take your rook, so it's a rook for a rook. Right?
Yeah.
So how can you So you only have one thing attacking your rook. Can you get rid of that thing?
With the bishop, but then the queen would take the bishop, and there was no
Now it's your move.
protecting move.
Now it's your move.
I mean, oh, then I would have been able to take his rook. That would have been good.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
And then he would take back, but you just got the exchange. You got a pawn and a rook for your knight. Right? Yeah. You just got a pawn and a rook for your knight. That's a great start. That's a great start. And then you could come over here and say, I'm going to attack this pawn twice. So even if he comes over here, I'm just going to take this pawn. And I'm going to win this pawn too. I mean, you're in this game. All you had to do to be in this game was get rid of the piece that he attacked with. So a general rule I want you to remember is when someone attacks you, you checked a couple of times, can I block him? Can I interpose a piece? Can I run away, right? Remember the first
Yep,
choice.
I did say that one though. Can I take something of his? But I guess I was just
take
looking
the piece,
at.
Can you take the piece that's
the attacking
attacking
one.
you?
Yeah.
Can you?
I mean, yes. I guess I just try. Okay, so it's hard for me to visualize what's going to happen next, like all the possibilities of what's going to happen next. So what I just see is, I know if I take, he's going to take, and I knew I was down on material already, so I felt like.
So you don't want to do normal trades, right? Mm-hmm. You're right. You're down material. You don't want to do trading, but what's the first thing I want you to check is, can I take the piece that's attacking? Yes, I can. Not can he take back. Can I take? Yes, I can. Then you can say, okay, well, he will take back. And you go, okay, so then what? Well, go back a move. Right now, what's the difference? You're just going to trade those two and get them off the board, right? And the queen will be here. Otherwise, nothing has changed. You traded two pieces. Right now, you were happy with your situation. You take here, you think, I'm doing good work. I'm getting stuff done. So if he trades off this piece, yes, we don't want to normally trade off pieces, but he was threatening your rook. We do not want to lose our rook, right? So I'd rather take this one and save my rook than, well, let's see what we did. We took his rook, and then he could take our rook. Now, good part was you saw what to do next because your knight's lost, but you have a free piece. So you saw it and you took it. Good job. And then I really love that you said, nope, I'm not trading. Because now that rule, do not trade when you're behind in material, definitely plays. Because if you lost the queens, it gets too easy for him. Gets too easy for him. So you're doing good. How about here? Did you see this long range? I think you missed that one.
I don't know if I saw it or not, but I do know I saw a couple of them, but I was just thinking about he's going to take it back.
After that, you chased him here. You were like, oh, give me that rook for a bishop. Give me that rook for a bishop. And I was like, oh, she sees it now. Because look, that rook goes here, you could take it. That rook goes here, you could take it. The rook goes here, you could take it. And if the rook goes here, you could take it. That rook had no squares. So he went here, and I was like, take it, take it, take it.
I guess I didn't see it then.
No. And although you're down material, this is still an exchange up. So you would take that because that's a gain in material. Now you got to figure out how to get your bishop back one way or the other. But you could do this. You could also bring your queen in here and kind of get, kind of scare him a little bit. It's not really too scary. He can even chase you. And then you could just move away. You can move away. Can't move there, sorry. So yeah, probably best is just to move the bishop back. But you could have had the rook for the bishop. So don't forget to check for those long range. Every time they move, you can almost say, can I take him? Can I take him? Wow, I can. And you probably would have if you realized you could. So one of the things one of the streamers likes to preach is a mantra that you should always do, which is look for checks. You have no checks. Can I check the guy? Captures, right? So right here, do I have any captures? And you didn't see it. But if you were to say, let me double check, do I have any captures? No captures. Ooh, I have a capture. No capture. No capture. No capture. No capture. No capture. No capture. And then pawns are easy, right? No captures. So if you had just checked all those captures, you would have said, hey, I got a capture, and you would have taken it. So he says every move, especially for beginners, because you're not doing deep thought most of the time as a beginner, but if you just look for checks, do I have any checks? And you don't have to do it because you have a check, because it might be bad. Like you have a check, but that would obviously be bad. But you look to
kept
see
saying that, but I had no way to.
Yeah,
I was trying to get another guy over there, and it was just weird.
But
I mean, I did have a way to do it, but I just didn't see it, I guess.
Well, you didn't have this. You didn't have a way to do that. You just lose it. But you're supposed to look to see if you have any checks because it might be good. All right, so that's the only check, not good. Do I have any captures? I have a capture. I have no capture. Just draw lines and see if your pieces are hitting anything. And if they're hitting something, then you could capture it. So checks, captures, and then he says attacks. And by attacks is what you did next. Right here, you'd look for checks, no checks. Captures, no captures. Attacks, ooh, I can attack the rook. And you did. That would be an attack. Then you look for checks, captures, you'd find that capture, and attacks again. So you're always looking for checks, captures, and attacks. So another attack you have is you can attack the knight. I'm just showing you an attack. I'm not saying you should do this one, but it's an attack, right? You can attack the knight. So that would be an attack you can do. You could attack the queen and the rook, but unfortunately the knight would just take you off. The queen wouldn't take you off, the knight would. So you're supposed to look to see if you have any checks, captures, or attacks. You don't necessarily do them just because you can. You find a good one or a safe one, and you had a safe one. So I think you played very well. I think you had a lot of opportunities. All right, last one that I didn't understand. He made a mistake right here. You can win a whole piece. You're down a knight. You can win back the knight. Can you find it? Because he gave you an opportunity to get back your knight.
I mean, I think this is the part where I moved the rook to D, and that was not good.
So let's look at what you did. Here, this was a great move, by the way. What does that move do? Was it? It attacks the rook, right?
Yes.
So the number one thing you want to do when you attack something, or are attacked, is take the piece. So he should have looked, said, oh, can I take that pawn? Well, if I take the pawn, she'll take me back, and I'll lose my knight for a pawn, and she'll get back the piece that I had won, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next thing he should do is look to run away. He can't run here, the rook would take. Can't run here, the queen would take. Can't run here, the pawn would take. Can't run here, the bishop would take. Can't run here, the bishop would take. But, ooh, I can run here, threatening the bishop, and you have no way to save your bishop. If your bishop goes here, the rook would take you. The bishop goes here, the queen would take you. The bishop goes here, the rook can still take you. You can't even put your queen here because the rook would take you. So what he should have done was this, and he would have won that bishop. That was his piece now. You can't stop him. And it's absolutely 100% okay that you missed that your bishop is stuck, because there's not much you could do about it anyway. If he doesn't notice, great. If he notices, if you push this or not, you have no way to save the bishop right now. You have no square for the bishop to go to right now. So it didn't matter, right? All right. So this is great, though. You attacked the rook. He didn't run away. He can't interpose with a pawn. He didn't take the piece. What did he do in reply? Attack something of equal value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember I told you that is the worst, the most risky thing to ever do is attack something of equal or greater value? It's the worst way to get out of an attack. It is the most dangerous way. Now, if it works, if it's like the right thing to do, it's great. You might win the game right then. But if it's the wrong move, you could lose the game. And in his case, he wouldn't lose the game. but he lets you back in the game. Right now, you're only down a knight. You have 2 bishops. He has 2 bishops. You have a rook. He has a rook. You have a queen. You have a queen. You have all the same amount of pawns. In fact, you have 1 more pawn than he does. And you're about to get back that knight. Show me how you get back that knight.
I mean, I could have just, I guess, taken the rook.
Amen. What do you want him to do? Take your rook?
Then, I mean, yeah.
And then what do you do?
I can just take his pawn.
Oh, you can take the pawn. You got anything better?
Well, I could take the knight with the king. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. So when the dust settled, and let's say he takes your pawn now, and now you take his pawn. When the dust settled, you have 2 bishops. He has 2 bishops. He has 5 pawns. You have 6 pawns. And you both have queens. What happened to his knight advantage? It is gone.
So yeah, I should have done that. See, that's why I'm so scared of losing material that I end up losing more material.
Yes. That's a great insight. That is a great insight. So if you know your flaws, right, then you can address them and be better. So you have a fear of losing a piece, and you're calling it losing a piece even when it's a trade. Remember when I said the bishop could take the knight? And you were like, yeah, but the queen could take me back, so I don't want to do that. But it's a trade. It was a bishop for a knight. It's an equal trade. Never be scared of equal trades. And in this case, you got a rook in the hand is better than a rook over here that may or might not be taken. Right? I mean, this is a solid rook in your hand. He might even take here, and then you, like you said, take the pawn. And whenever if he doesn't take and he moves back here, well, now you have a rook versus a knight. You're winning. You're winning even after that. So you, even all the way down to this point, you're winning if you just take that rook. Again, he should take your rook, and then you should take back. Remember, the first choice is always take back if I can. Wow, I can. So I will. I'll take back. What is the first choice? I can take back, so I will. There's nothing scary. I can take back safely. And you are now winning the game. Cool. So this is how well you played, that even losing that knight early, you had a chance all the way back here at move, what move is this? 29,
but
30.
Instead I did something that pinned me, and thus I lost.
Well, then it got really ugly. So here, you attacked the knight, you saved your rook, but you didn't take the rook. And then he said, oh, that was my trick. Now the knight protects my rook. And then you did the inexplicable move of putting your queen over here. You said you're scared of losing pieces, but then you gave him your queen.
Okay, so I was panicking at this point because the time was running out, and I tried to move the rook, and I saw that the king would be under attack if I attacked the knight, which
Right,
I don't know why my
that's
brain
illegal.
wasn't thinking to attack the rook itself. That would have been better.
Yeah, again, the question is, what piece just attacked you? What piece? The rook just attacked you. Can you take the piece that's attacking you? It's protected twice, but that's a whole lot better than letting him take you and checkmating you. So yeah, you take it. He probably would have taken with the knight. Then you could have tried to attack the knight, but it's protected. So you didn't have to do anything about it. But this is still better than of course. But like you said, you were very honest. You panicked because you were low on time. I couldn't tell you every 30 seconds because it was a rated game. But yeah, putting the queen back here was like, what? I didn't know what that was. But yeah, rook takes rook. You're in the game. You're still in the game. By the way, you did very well of identifying every time that knight was attacking your queen. You did very well with that. Very well. So, the only thing I'll tell you here is take the piece. When they attack, if you attack something and they ignore you and do something else, just make sure it's not going to be mate, and you probably should just take the piece you attacked. Because they think they are being clever, and you actually just have material. You're ahead. All right? That was really good. I'm proud of you. That was really good.
It's a learning
you don't
experience,
think so.
of course.
But So we gave you 9 lessons. And if we count thinker teacher, you've gotten 10 lessons. Stealing, ruining my experiment. Okay, but we could say that you had 10 lessons. So with 10 lessons, right? What's next? What is next to make you a good player? Because now I think we got you from novice to beginner. Now, how do we get you to be a good player? We're going to get you to be a good player by playing games. You now need experience. That's all you need left is experience.
Yes.
And you can get experience by playing games.
And I just need to break these habits of not wanting to lose material.
Yes, and your thinking is a little off, right? We call it calibrating your thinking or fixing wrong thinking. Murph likes to say, because I always tell him, I say your thinking is wrong. He goes, okay, tell me what's wrong. So the wrong part of your thinking is it's not losing material if it's a trade, and it's definitely not losing material if you get more than they do. That's winning material. Right? Okay. So you should not want to lose material, but to be fair, and I do this to Murph and Sudakus and everybody else too. Here you tell me that you're scared of losing material, but you ignore the fact that you're about to actually, literally lose material. And now you lost a 3-pointer for a 1-pointer. So you lost 2 points. You gave me 2 free dollars. And let's say everything's worth $100. You gave me $200 for nothing. Yeah. So when you say you don't want to lose material, that would be losing material. Here, if you push the pawn, that would be losing material because you just take it, right? You can't even take back. That would just be a free pawn, a wasted free pawn. So I'm so glad you didn't do that. You didn't do that. So you saw it there, and you saw it here, and you saw it here. So, but you missed it. You missed this one, but more importantly, you missed the one where your bishop could have taken. Right here, if you had taken with the bishop, queen would have had to take back because you're attacking the rook. So queen would have taken back. Then you could have won the exchange back. And like I said, you could have went after this pawn and you're back in this game. And this move, even though it's protected by the queen, still loses this pawn. Right? He still loses that pawn, and now you're threatening to win the rook because you have 2 pieces via x-ray and he only has 1 protecting it. So now again, you're back to, and you might be down a piece, but you have a rook. He doesn't. You have 2 rooks. 2 rooks is powerful. And even if he trades and you only have 1 rook, your 1 rook may not be worth both of these, but what's this guy called? What kind of pawn is this?
Oh, yes. He's on a open file.
Yeah, so what's he called? Pass?
Free? Pass. Oh, pass.
It's not a free pawn. It's a passed
home
pawn.
Free.
So that passed pawn is probably worth the rook versus the knight. Plus, you have an extra pawn. So you have 2 pawns more than your opponent, and one of them is a passed pawn. You have chances. You have good chances. So yes, I am very happy with your very first game ever. I thought that was just fine. You ready for another one? All right, go out there and challenge the world. See if somebody will play you. You can play Stockfish 3 if you want, but did you like this better than playing Stockfish 3? Or did you like playing the computer doesn't make as many obvious errors as a human would.
Of course.
They do make errors at level 3, but you really got to spot them. So it's up to you. But it's kind of fun that you played an actual game against an actual human being.
Yeah, I'll do that again.
Okay. Because one of the things we're hoping is that you don't quit playing after today. You don't have to play on stream, although I'm telling you, they'd love you. The chess community would love you because they all want to give you tips. They will all tell you what to do. They will all give you like, oh, you should have done this. Oh, you had a win here. Everyone will want to help you. They like telling people what they did wrong. Gridiron, you're a little too strong for my brand new player, but if you want to go find her a challenge, if you're low enough rated, you can play her. You didn't find the game yet, did you? Oh, okay,
Oh,
good.
it
We're
just now
watching. We're
started.
not talking anymore. I'm going to turn up the
Okay.
music.
Alright, now I'm black this time. So I have to pay attention. That's my king. Alright. Okay. Okay. Hi. I think I'm gonna sit right here. I'm pinning him now. Oh, never mind. I'm not. Okay. Well. Bad start. Okay. I think I should. I haven't developed everything, but I think I should castle now because the king is out there. Trat. That shows I'm still not paying attention to material. At least I can take them back. Which one should I move? Move this one towards the center. I don't know. It's better than moving away from the center. Okay. To move one right away. I really probably should have taken first. And then when he takes back, then I should have taken the knight away. Because now I'm not going to be able to take him back. Well, I shouldn't be afraid to trade. I don't know if it's a good time to trade or not. I feel like I'm going to lose anyway. So. I need to get my bishop out of there. Okay. Well, I can't take his attacking piece. I can let him take, and then I can just take. The bishop and the knight are equivalent. What I was gonna do? running out of time. Right, let's say he takes, I take, then what? I'm already down a bishop. I won't have a knight, but I'm down 2 knights. I'm running out of time. Well, I still have rooks. I'll just need to develop the bishop, and then I can see what I do. Okay. Figured he wouldn't want to take anyway. Well, the queen out probably. We need the rooks to talk. They're not really able to do anything here now. Well, the queen has a lot of range right now. If I move her, she's going to be very cramped. Can't move that. What do I do? Like I'm doing worse in this game. Already at 7 minutes. Well, I could move the queen here and she'll still have range. That's better than moving her up. The bishop is retreating now. What is the plan? I need to... Their king is just out in the open, not even behind protected pawns. Or unmoved pawns. They haven't even castled. What should I do? I'm really... Okay. Well, this rook doesn't have much success alone. And I'm running out of time. I shouldn't put my knight on the wall. Okay. Well, the bishop has moved. So I could move my rook up here. No, never mind. I can't because the bishop is right there still. but it's protected by the pawn at least. I am so annoyed for not saying that. Hopefully. Okay, it ran anyway. Phew. so annoyed. I have no plan. Just flailing around. If I push this pawn up, it's going to do nothing. I have stacked pawns, which is not good. Okay, I'm just gonna move. Running out of time. Okay. So I'm gonna try to see why did they move right there. They can get my pawn for free because it's no longer protected. And that is there. I can't move the pawn. The only thing I can do is move the rook to protect the pawn. Is that wise right now? No idea. Well, I could stack the rooks so that I don't know. I don't have. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything right now that I can do. Running out of time. How did I not see that? I'm so annoyed.
That's a great question. So what happened was you literally verbalized. Let me turn down the music. You said, now let me see why he moved the queen there. That was so good. I was so proud of you. You said, let me see why he moved the queen there. Now let's go to your WordiGirl on games. You said, why did he move the queen there? And then you said, oh, he's attacking this pawn. It's undefended. But you didn't look to see if there was another attack, right? You found one threat and you quit looking. So if you had found this threat first, then you might have said, you might not have realized this pawn was hanging. You can't stop at one threat. By the way, let's go back to here. He had your rook for a bishop. He could have pushed the pawn and forked your rook and your knight and won one of them for a pawn. He did neither one. He didn't take the rook. He didn't push the pawn and win material. He backed the bishop up. You did not at that time say, let me find out why he did that. Because if you had, you might have said, oh, he's making it so his queen could go here. Why would he do that to make his queen go there? And then maybe you would have said, ooh, he's got both of them lined up at my pawn. Right? And then after here, you would have said, wait, that's why he moved the bishop, to let his queen get there to line up on my pawn. But that's okay. It is so normal. I mean, he could have won a piece for a pawn, and instead he went for this, for something trappy. And you could have, and if you didn't do what you did and you pushed the pawn here to block, this would have been so much fun. You could have pushed the pawn to block, but then he gets to take with en passant, and you're still going to lose this pawn. So actually, I'm wrong. It would have been nice to do that anytime back here, like right here. If you had done this, this would have been sweet. Because if he had taken, you would have done this, attacking the queen. The queen could have moved, and let's say he moved here because he wants to still checkmate you. But then you have a discovered check. And you could put that bishop here, but you want to put it here because then the queen can't go back and block, and that means you're going to win the queen. So you could have pushed that pawn. It would have been so good. You could have also pushed this pawn at some point to blunt that bishop. Then he could have tried to get this bishop in, and you could run away. But anyway, no. But missing that is so normal. Now, this move, I don't know what this was, because
I was just running out of time, and I didn't know.
So the bishop could have hit you, but this would have been better than the bishop because you can't take the pawn. He's going to win one of those for pawn, where if he takes with the bishop, he only gets one for a bishop, right? And he's up the exchange. But he could have used the pawn. So this was like your first really bad move. Yes. You did okay otherwise. I liked it that on this move you said, after you moved the knight, you said, why didn't I take? Because what did we just discuss? The first thing we want to do when we're attacked is see if we could take it. And you could have. He could have taken back, and now you have multiple choices. Probably the best is to take his queen. Right? Because we're not afraid to trade. Can he castle anymore?
No.
Can't castle. And watch this move. Watch this move. Remember this coming back and attacking. When a pawn attacks a knight, the knight can move and attack the pawn. Even better, you're attacking this pawn and this pawn. There's no way for him to protect them both. If he lets you take this pawn, you have a fork.
Mm-hmm.
So if he comes out here and protects this pawn, or if he pushes this pawn, you still have the fork and you're going to win a rook. And if he protects the pawn, which he has to do this way or with the king, then you get to take the center pawn. So again, you're this close, and I'm trying to give you these little rules to help you when you're under attack. First choice, always check and double check if I take it, is it good? And in this case, it's very good, because the only way he's going to take back is going to allow you to trade off queens. He loses his right to castle, and now you got to move your knight, but you got a square where you can attack the pawn and the pawn. So we can do a beautiful double attack, and there's nothing he can do about it. You got your double attack. And if he doesn't stop you, you'll have another double attack. So if he uses the pawn to protect, then you get another double attack. So you're this close, and it's just got to remember the rules and you lamented a little bit when he took your bishop, but so what? Like you said, it's an equal trade. I heard you verbalize. So which one do I take with? I'll take towards the center. Yes, pawns become more valuable towards the center. So I was like, yes, I know she knows that, and you did it. So you always take towards the center. By the way, it also frees your rook for possible fun. And then this is where you got to just take, right? You got to take. Now, I got to ask you, because you keep playing this way. I don't know where this came from. I didn't show you this, so I'm wondering. Every time you get this situation, you've been doing this. What is your plan? Because, it's a legit opening. I just don't know if you know it. What do you do if he takes?
Probably just...
Nobody does, because they're all scared.
I know. I would just probably push this D pawn up.
Yeah, but you need to win back that pawn. You just lost a pawn.
Well, yeah.
So the trick is you actually attack the knight. And if he moves the knight, you take the pawn.
Okay.
So then you take the pawn, and if he uses the queen, you could just take the queen, and you could just trade down, and you're equal, and you're not scared, and you could play on. People don't like playing without their queen. So this is one way. If he tries to protect it this way or this way, then you chase the knight with a pawn. Now the knight moves, and you still win the pawn.
Would we not want to take with the knight?
You can, especially because now you're threatening to move the knight and do a discover check on the king, right? Actually, from here right now, you're threatening this move. You're going to win the queen if he lets you do that. So let's say he comes out here, for argument's sake. So now you say check, and the queen would normally want to block, but the knight could take you off. It's a trap, and it works. So the queen can't block, or you'll take him off. And if he blocks with anything else, then you just take off the queen. So yes, you can definitely take with the knight. But you need to know this because you keep playing the knight, you keep playing this knight, and I'm like, does she know how to play that? And I obviously you don't, but I mean it's great. So I'm teaching you right now, this you can memorize. Queen to here. If he protects with the pawn, you could chase. And you chase, his knight goes away, and then if you like, take with the pawn, take with the knight, definitely. Because now you have this trap where you're gonna say discover check. You can't take your knight yet because he's in check. So normally what they do is they do something like this and keep you from being able to say check. And then it won't work, right? If he does this, don't do this. Because then he'll just take your queen and then he takes your knight for free. And even if he blocks with the bishop, if you do this, like, oh, I'm going to win your queen. No, because he just takes your knight for free. All right, so you can't do it unless he doesn't and he does something like this. Right? And if he says check, then you're like, oh, good, because now the pawn chases the bishop. And pretty much anywhere he goes except for here, even if he goes here, you get to win the queen. Okay. But yeah, I'm like, she's always doing that. And I'm like, does she know how to do that? But that's okay. He didn't. He blocked in his bishop, right, from getting outside of the yard to play. Remember, these are the stuff you've learned over 9 weeks. But, you know, we're trying to pull it all together. And that's where you need the experience. You ignored the pawn. So normally you would protect the pawn first and then do the bishop because your pawn is hanging. So you ignored the pawn and he said, oh, now you move the pawn twice. So what do you do when somebody attacks you? What's the easiest thing to do?
Take that?
Take it.
I mean, but
just take it.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was paying attention to the bishop, and then I would get taken by the knight. But that makes way more sense.
Well, you can. I mean, you could do this too. I mean, it's a trade. Everything is traded. You're down a pawn. He's down a pawn. You can still do this to threaten that pawn if you want. You can do this and threaten the queen. That's always nice to develop, right? Hits that square. You can't say check. Queen has to find a new home. Queen finds whatever home he wants, and then you could castle. And you're still fine. And if you don't like that, it's okay, because you get to chase the queen, and then you get to come over here or back here. So you're fine here. This is fine.
I just felt like I wasn't developing enough because mid-develop, he started doing stuff that made it where I had to.
Yes. Right. Yeah. But here, you know, he did a bad move. He moved the pawn twice. So you have 2 pieces developed. He only has 1. And what's the general rule when we get attacked? What's the number 1 choice? Take it. And we'll see. And we could go through this, but I think you'll see every time if you were to take it, and you could have taken it either way. I would have been happy with the bishop. Take. He could have pushed on your knight. You can then pin the pawn if you wanted to start with. Right? That's an option. But, you know, that's where it gets a little tricky. And if you took with the pawn, then he might push also. And so you got to decide how to play now. Again, you can attack this pawn, but it's protected. And then he's going to chase you. And then you're going to put your knight over here on the rim. So that's all playable. And you can definitely do it. Or you could just pin the pawn right away and say, okay, what are you doing about it? Because now he can't get the pawn there. You could bring out the bishop to protect it. So you could do stuff. And then you could attack it with the pawn. Because he still can't take because it's check. Anyway. So, but let's see if how many times that when he gave you an opportunity, if you took, you'd be better off than what you did. If you took here or here, you'd be better. Now you can't take, right? Because he has too many pieces taking back. So this is one example where you don't want to take the piece that's attacking you. Don't want to take the piece that's attacking you. Now he takes. This is where if you knew this whole trap, right? Even though he's protected, your next move is going to be this to chase him away, not do it beforehand. But another option is you could just take. Now he's going to do the same thing we just talked about. He's going to push on your knight, and now you're going to lose material. So, but yeah, you could have done that. Let's see what you did. You pushed on the knight. He went away attacking your bishop, so what could we do? By the way, what could you do? You could just take the pawn. Because if he pins you, you unpin, and if he attacks your knight, you just run away because it's queen for queen. You could just run away. You can say, go ahead, take my queen. It's a trade. Granted, you can't castle, but watch this because this is fun. You can castle what we call by hand. He castles, and now you go duck it, and you're still fine. Okay, so, but let's see how many times. We said you can't take, so it's 1 out of 2 you shouldn't have, 2 out of 3 you shouldn't have, takes you can't take, attack, you didn't take, you could have taken, you can't take the one that's attacking you, but you had a pawn. I'd take the pawn, but I was very happy to see you castle. Take back, good. Again, so this is 2 out of 4 times. You should have just taken. I love that though. You found this move. That was so good. That was so good. Protect the knight. That was so good. I love it that you took. You could, just so you know, because the bishop is blocked, but even if it wasn't blocked, your queen was holding it. You could have done this and attacked the queen, and he probably would have moved someplace, and then you could have went here. Now,
he wouldn't have been able to do that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of crampy, so I'm not crazy about it anyway. But taking was great. Somebody attacked you, and you could take, so you did. Great job. See, it's easier. So much easier. By the way, yeah, no, that was good. All right, so here, I thought you did fine. I thought a nice, fun, trappy move would have been this. And if he did not take your knight, which I don't think he would have, let's say he attacked your rook. Do you see how you could win a pawn?
With
your rook is under attack. Can you win a pawn?
Yeah,
I could just push the rook to get the pawn if the rook is going to automatically get taken anyway. Or I could, with the knight.
Yeah, where? Yes, it's a knight move. Where?
The bishop will land on 3. A3.
What are you saying? Where do you want your knight to go?
I'm trying to see if the knight will land. I mean, I know what you're saying. I could put the queen under attack by putting the knight on D.
And can he take your knight?
Yes. I mean, well, technically, yes. But, oh, wait, that's a pin. Well.
Yeah, it's a pin.
Okay.
So, this is called alignment. And you'd find this simply because you'd say, I'm going to line my rook with his queen. I'm just going to line my rook with his queen and see what happens. Now, he should just take here, you take back, and then he could do stuff like that and you'd have to run away, but who cares? It's so much fun, right? So with this alignment, if he attacks your rook, you could say, I'm not going to take back the rook. I'm going to take this pawn, and now I'm attacking the queen. And you might say, okay, well, then he's going to move his queen, right? He's not going to take with the pawn and give you a rook for the queen, which if he does, you're like happy. But let's say, because now you're also threatening this fork, right? And you're like, well, I don't want to lose that. But look, you're also threatening the bishop. You're threatening everything. So you're threatening the fork, you're threatening the queen, you're threatening the bishop, and the pawn is pinned. So if he goes here to protect the bishop and stop you from getting your knight in there, you can just take the bishop anyway. Because now he has to take. Oh, yeah. And why does he have to take? Because if he takes your rook thinking, I'll take the piece that's worth more, you take with the same knight. And what'd you just do? You took a bishop and a knight. No, you took 2 bishops. You took 2 bishops for your rook. 2 bishops for your rook. So you have a rook and a bishop where he has 1 rook. And the other rook matches your rook. And now that knight gets to come back to this square even. He doesn't even have a way to get to your knight. And you're just, so let's say he castles. And your knight just sits here forever. It'll sit there forever. And you're winning. So I thought that would be such a fun move. Because at this level, right, the level the guy you're playing, this is likely his move. to attack the rook and get it out of there. And that would be so much fun if he did. And he doesn't have to. He could leave the bishop there. So he could castle. And if he castles, you still have that. Now you don't have the fork here, but you still have the bishop. So he's got to deal with it. Wherever he puts his queen, which can't be here, he could put it here and then you just win the bishop for free. So you should go here to protect the bishop. And then you could just take the bishop. By the way, you could also, well, no, you can't. Oh, yes, you can. You could just protect because the pawn still can't take. And if he takes, you take and fix your pawns, he still can't take yet. But that's kind of dicey. This is where it's fun though. Like, oh, would you know that you could take here? Because if he takes here, you take with the same knight and you're still winning. And so he would have to take your knight and then you get another pawn. Wow. Yes. That's why I love chess. Because of moves like this, right? That's just fun chess. That's just fun. And you'll see those in the future. So, all right. Capping up 10 lessons. I want to know from before you started your lessons to now, how do you feel about chess? Better, worse? Are you excited? Do you want to play some games now? Do you feel like you can give your brothers a battle? What do you feel? Do you feel like Captain Marvel or what?
Not quite, but I do feel way more confident in the fact that I know at least more than just the pieces moving. Like I've gotten a lot of, as you said, like little tips and things, and I've also identified some of the bad thinking that I have. So I at least know what I should work on. And
awesome.
No, not.
I see what Sudoku said. No, I don't hate it. But it's interesting. I mean, it's very intriguing. I've always thought that chess seems like a very intriguing game. Quite elegant and stuff. So I'm still not there to be able to play at that level. But yeah. I feel like it's not impossible, I guess.
Well, that's good news. I definitely don't want you to feel like it's impossible. Yeah, chess is a great game, and it's tough, right? It's not easy. But I love it, and a lot of people obviously love it, and I'm hoping you get to love it. I thought you did great. You're definitely the best student I've had yet. Even Sudakus, you're a better student than Sudakus. Yeah, you've done great. And well, even these losses, you did great. You were in every game. You had opportunities. And it's just like you said, a little bit of fixing thinking. Again, we looked, and I think it was obvious. It would be I think it was obvious to you that you can take here. You missed that. But you couldn't take the piece here. That was just bad. And you couldn't take the piece here. That would be just bad. You knew that. So you ran away. So everything was good except the first one. Again, the best choice is most times is going to be take the piece, especially if you could take it with something of equal value, right? So if you're not sure here, you're taking with a bishop. And then the only question is, can he take back? And if he could take back, then no, I don't want to trade 3 for 1. But back here, you could trade 1 for 1. So even if you weren't sure, you could take with the pawn, right? If you made that mistake, I'd be okay. Yes, Sudakus used to chew gum in class. That's why you're not as good a student. But yeah, so you could take with the bishop. You have options. So I think you did great. I was very happy.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate you being my teacher. You've taught me a lot of good things and things to look out for, things to improve my thinking, and just the basics of developing and all that kind of stuff. So I totally appreciate these lessons. Thank you so much for having me as a guest as well.
Well, thank you so much for being willing to participate in the experiment. That was a lot of work. I want to make, every week you had to meet. So every Tuesday we did it. I'm toying with doing another experiment now that you got me so excited about doing these experiments. where we do 10 lessons with somebody else and see how high we can get their rating. So now I think you're much better than you were when we first started talking about it 10 lessons ago. But now I'm curious to see, can we take somebody from like 1500 to 1600 in 10 lessons, right? I mean, how many lessons does it take? And each lesson is an hour and a half to 2 hours. So 10 lessons of 2 hours, it's 200, right? Yeah. It's 20, it's two, no, that's 2 times 10
10
is
lessons
20
at 2
hours.
hours. Yes,
20
20
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
But not $200.
No, no, no. So for 20 hours, how good could you get? Right? That to me is a challenge. I'm curious to see if we spent 20 hours, one lesson a week, focused on getting somebody better, how high can we get them in 1 week? That would be, and people always ask, like I said at the beginning, how do I get better? Can you help me get better? And I think it's fair if they're going to get lessons, they want to know, will it work, right?
Yeah.
So I like to think if they were a novice, the lessons worked. You were my experiment for that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to have been a good student.
You were a great student. Thank you so much. And like I said, anytime you want another lesson, we're going to do them. So, and I'd love for you to play some games, because if you could play games during the week and whatever, try streaming maybe just one chess game once in a while. I think the viewers would love you, but definitely we need you to be writing also. So I gave you did not redeem your audiobook yet, guys. The audiobook is out. The audiobook is out for Sherlock the Gnome. And here's the promo card, which you'd have to click on to see. Oh, I should be able to click on it. I should be able to show you guys the audiobook. What do you think of that? Or at least the promo card that they give you with your audiobook. So there you have it. The audiobook is out, and you can get it on Spotify, and you can get it on other locations. But there it is on Spotify. It's $7.99 on sale for the launch, and it'll be on sale for, it says only for 6 more hours. No, it is 6 hours and 26 minutes. I thought it was 7 hours, so I don't know. That's interesting. It says 6 hours and 26 minutes. I was sure it was.
You're saying how long the book lasts?
Yeah, it looks like it's saying it's 6 hours and I mean, I think that's saying that's the length of the book, which is interesting because they have it right here. Opening credits is 13 seconds, 44 minutes, then 53 minutes and 51 seconds. So that's basically 97, 98 minutes. 98 and 44 more is 130, 142 minutes. 142 and 60 is 242. No, 142, 202, and 11 would be 213. Another 60, so 213 would be 260, 78, 278 roughly, 278 and 60 more would be 278. Anyway, now I'm lost, but it does seem like it's around. I thought it was 7 hours when we looked at the end of it, but it looks like it's 6 hours and 26 minutes. But anyway, whatever. It's on sale. It's out. It's available. You can get it on Spotify, on Walmart, some other sites. Waiting for it to get on Audible. Waiting for it to get out to other ones. If anybody wants to try, if anybody really wants to listen to the book, and we'll do a review. I'll even give you a free copy of the audiobook so you can have it and listen to it and do a review. And WordiGirl, you have to redeem yours.
I've been so busy. I will try. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it because, yeah, if it was at 7 hours, I probably would not have time to sit down and read it myself. It's easier to listen to somebody else reading it.
Yeah, yeah, and I love listening to your books. By the way, I love your voice actor that does that. Um, but you can listen to it whenever you can, whenever you want to. So that's nice. Um, and of course, you could just listen to one story at a time. So there, as you saw, the longest story was the last one, I believe, 1 hour and 46 minutes. So most of them are an hour or less. So good to go. Awesome.
Nice.
And thanks again for
Congrats
being
on the
such a
launch.
great student.
Thank you for being such a great teacher.
All right, guys, we're going to raid Party Blunson. We've raided him before because nobody else is out there right now from our stream team. He's always appreciative. Go check him out. Have a great night. We will see you Thursday. Thank you, WordiGirl. We are done.
All right,
I
thank
still
you.
have to stop
Checkmate,
streaming,
though. I
but
think that
we're
was part of the
technically
agreement.
done.
Hey, Tiberian 64.